Hi, good morning, Team Australia. Welcome to the Australian session of the NFE Virtual Trade Show. Standing next to my left is the Tasmanian Devil, Dave Bigham. We'll be going over a variety of new products in today's session.
New products! Yay!
2020 has been a hell of a year, but we've been able to launch some really new and exciting products. The A95 and the A96, some of our shot blasters, which you already have in country. Dave will be leading the demonstration on that. And then we're going to segue into one of our, into the most exciting product that we have launched in 2020, which is the Viking, the 3-ton diesel-powered highway and deck scraper. So we'll be using the Viking to remove waterproofing membrane, some black rubber membrane, as well as some timber and some vinyl composite tile. Once I hand it over to Dave to lead the shot blasting demonstration, I'll be in the comment section taking your requests for any other on-demand product demonstrations. We've got nearly our entire product catalog here, from our grinders to walk-behind scrapers to our ride-on scrapers. If you'd like to see us remove office carpet or residential carpet or ceramic tile or vinyl composite tile, timber, we got two types. We got engineered and natural. So let us know in the comment section what other demonstrations you'd like to see beyond the A95, the A96, and the Viking, and we'll queue it up. I'm going to hand it over to Dave Bigham, and look forward to getting your comments down below.
How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. Let me tell you from a personal standpoint, Australia is definitely in my top 2 places that I've traveled in my lifetime, and I've been around the block. I really miss being there. It's a beautiful country, and hopefully things go back and you guys will see my face in Australia instead of just behind the camera. So if you guys don't know me, I've been basically working with shot blasters my entire life. So I'm your guy. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to Kevin, but my phone's on 24/7. So if you guys are ever in a bind, it doesn't matter what time it is there or what time it is here, I'm available. If you need that information, just chat it in, and we'll get it to you right away, straight away. And if you guys have any questions about the 2 shot blasters I'm going to go over, chat those in, even if you think you're getting ahead of me, just so I don't miss anything that you guys have tuned in to learn. So we're going to talk about this first shotty right here. This is an A95. I believe you guys have in stock, some of you guys that are viewing, you have a 3395, which is just a little bit of an older model. There's just a few small differences between the A95 and the model that you guys have. One of them would be the amp meter now is digital, so it's illuminated, so you can see it a little bit better at night. The cord wrap, and the handle has pins for the height adjustment, so instead of having the twist knobs that hold it in place, it's a little bit safer because I see a lot of guys lifting these up by the handle because they only weigh about 121 pounds. I'm trying to think if there's any other major differences. The caster wheels on the front are a little bit different, but from 10 feet away you might not know that. So this is a super popular machine because it's capable of about 400 square feet an hour of production up to. So it's super versatile. We also here, we tend to refer to this machine as a companion machine because it is used with larger and larger and larger shot blasters. Some guys consider this a starter machine or an entry-level machine, and that also is true. But if you started with this machine, even if you stepped up into larger national shot blasters, you would find yourself still using this machine in bathrooms, narrow hallways, behind the entry to buildings where the security or maybe the receptionist might be sitting. There's lots of places that you can't get the bigger machines into, so you're always going to be able to utilize this machine at any point in your contracting career. Therefore, we tend to call it a companion machine, even though in a lot of cases, guys are still making this their entry-level machine. So this unit is 110 volt. Is it 110 volt in Australia, Kevin? I can't remember. 220. So for you guys, it's 220. I thought so. Thank you. Yeah, so if you guys are looking to purchase additional machines, it would be the A95 EUR, which would be the 220 for y'all's power. This one is actually 110 because we are in Denver, Colorado. So I've loaded up the hopper about to the top of the screen with steel shot. And the way this works is when I squeeze the small handle closer to the bigger handle, it actually releases a micro switch which starts the motor. And then once the motor is running at full speed, I'm going to go ahead and make sure this machine's moving in a forward direction. And then I'm going to squeeze that smaller handle closer to the big handle, which is going to open the shot valve and allow shot to be fed down to the blast wheel and impact the surface. When the shot impacts the surface, it's going to rebound back up the rebound chamber, and it's going to fall through the air wash system. So as the shot comes to the top, it's going to spill back down and fall back into the hopper, and the dust is going to get sucked into our dust collector. So it's a pretty basic principle. This is an 8-inch machine. I like it because I can do a 2-car garage in an hour, hour and a half. A standard 2-car garage, I can get in, get out. At 120 pounds, I'm a pretty strong fella, even for my age and my width. But I could actually unload this out of a truck and the vacuum by myself, do a job, and I can actually still lift 120 pounds and get it back into a van or a work truck. That's why I like this unit. That makes it super versatile for guys that are trying to do basements or get it upstairs where there might not be elevator access. It's super easy for 2 guys to carry it right up the stairs. So I'm going to turn this on and do a quick little pass and show you guys how this works. And then hopefully if you guys have questions about this unit specifically, you're going to chat them in, and then they're going to feed those questions back to me so I can answer if there's more specific technical questions regarding this unit or shop blasting in general. So I'm going to turn on the vacuum, and we're going to make a quick pass with the A95, and then we're going to do the same thing, talk a little bit about some of the features and benefits of the A96. I'll fire up the vacuum. You ready, Nick? That's my cameraman, the real brains behind this operation. Is that all right? So, I don't know how well you guys can see with the camera, but the world seems to want to talk about grinding, how fantastic grinding is. I'm not going to argue that, but I'm going to argue a shop blaster is a fantastic machine. It cleans and profiles in one step. There's no dust left on the surface. And I don't know if you guys can see this joint, but if I grind over this joint, which obviously we've done, it just packs more dust and material into it. The shop blaster actually cleaned it out. So if I was the guy that was putting down a coating on this floor, that joint is clean and the epoxy is going to fall in there and bond to the sides without having to run a crack chaser or any kind of tool in the joints. That's a huge advantage to a shop blaster. Plus, I would say that typically, just on a side-by-side comparison, I can shop blast way faster than you guys can grind. Let's talk another advantage about a shop blaster. Steel shot, which is the media you put in the machine, it is considerably less expensive as a consumable compared to diamonds. So it's not that I'm saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying that a shop blaster is a fantastic tool. And with the impacts per square inch, it's opening up the porosity of the concrete, and it gives it lots of hills and valleys. So whatever you're putting on it, glue, epoxies, rubber membranes, it doesn't matter. You're going to get a superior bond because it's going to grab a hold of all those little hills and valleys, nooks and crannies that you just can't get with other surface prep techniques. It's why I'm so big on shop blasting. Every time I hear shoddy in my head, I see confetti and I get excited. So let's move on to, since there's no questions about your 3395 or the newer model A95, we're going to talk about National's new engineered A96, which I'm actually also excited about. If you guys can't tell, I'm excited all the time. So I'll try to contain myself, but this model, our engineering department did just a brilliant job. The shot blasters on the market, we have competitors. I know you guys have that. Probably find that hard to believe, but there's competitors out there. They haven't changed their equipment in, 20 years. Everything's the same. They never upgrade. They never try to make the machines easier to run, easier to maintain, easier to make adjustments on. Well, our engineering department recognized and listened to the voice of our contractors, and that's where this came from. And things that don't appear to be really all of that great of an advantage are an amazing upgrade. Like this handle is ergonomically designed so this actually turns when I turn. So I'm not chasing around like this. I can actually turn it like this. This actually speeds you up considerably. With a shot blaster, you can only go the length of your hose, 40 feet, 25 feet, and you always start close to the dust collection and you move away. But I can only go 15 feet that way, 15 feet this way, and then you start your overlap and you're moving. So that creates a lot of downtime for your turning around and lining it up. Well, this ergonomic design makes that a lot easier, and all of my options for controlling the machine are right here. So this has a trigger just like a joystick. That's going to make it move. And then I have two buttons. I have a reverse and an overdrive. So when I press these all three together, I'm going to go in the reverse direction, which for a walk-behind shot blaster, that's reverse. Really quickly. It's nice that all that's there, as well as there's my speed control, which is my potentiometer switch, which controls my drive motor, is also right here. That leaves this hand completely free to operate my shot valve. So I can make an adjustment on how many amps I'm pulling or how much shot I'm feeding. Then I can really control what I'm doing to the surface by adjusting my speed. Once it's set, I should have a consistent profile over and over and over and over on the floor that's going to be the same because it's driven instead of pushed like a manual machine. So there's a couple other features. I don't know if you can zoom in, Nick, but for years to make an adjustment to how much the shot valve was opening and closing, which is how you adjust your amp draw. If you're drawing too many amps, your machine tends to drop shot because you're overloading it like flooding a car. If you're opening the valve and it's just barely cracking the shot valve and only feeding a small amount of media into the blast wheel, you're getting very little production. So it was really hard to make an adjustment on that valve. You had to take this assembly apart, and it's got little ears, and you have to get it just right, and it takes a lot of trial and error. It's very frustrating. National, our engineering department, I love talking about them, they figured out a way with one simple bolt. This is like a governor on a 1960s truck. And if I turn this bolt out, it allows the valve to open more. If my valve's opening too much, I can actually run this in, and it stops it from opening as much. So I have an infinite adjustment. Normally, I want this running under 30 amps. So I'm going to set it at 26, 27 amps. By just turning this bolt, that's it. Just one bolt has to be turned. And if I want it to open less because maybe I'm in an older building with weaker breakers, I can make a quick adjustment. It's so simple. And it's that adjustment that causes a lot of headaches for guys trying to run shoddy machines. They really struggle with getting that valve set correctly, and this really solves all that problem. There's tons of other features such as the cord management system, and I could go on and on and on and on, but really we've simplified this machine for maintenance, adjustments on the job, operation, and because it's a forward, you're walking backwards, you're always basically walking on the dirty concrete. You're never walking on the clean concrete, which is another big advantage. Real contractors that are doing larger jobs that really make a difference. They want to keep their surface as clean as possible. So when I'm cruising along this way, the blast is behind me, so I'm never walking on my clean floor. I'm going to back up just a little bit. I'm going to turn on the dust collector, and I encourage you guys, if you have questions, I could get super technical if you want. We can do that offline, or you can chat in questions if there's something you want to know specifically. I can answer it now, or you guys are welcome to reach out to Kevin Boudreau or myself at any time. So I'm going to turn on the vacuum, and we're going to do a quick pass with this to see what kind of pattern that it's going to leave for us. I'm going to start my blast wheel, which is a soft start blast wheel. So I'm going to give it a second just to catch up. That's designed so it won't put a strain on the breakers. So I watched my amp meter kind of jump up as it started. Now it's settled right back down. So I'm going to pull my trigger and I'm going to start moving. And once it's moving, I'm going to open the shot valve. So we're in the training center. There's lots of equipment around me, lots of flooring that we're moving. Normally you would start close to your dust collector and move away. That way your hoses and cords are always trailing away from you. And we also normally tape our hoses and cords every 3 or 4 feet to keep them from getting tangled up while you're turning around all day long. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's pretty consistent. It's pretty fast. It's pretty amazing. And I don't know if anybody out there in the audience noticed, but I have lights in front and in the back of this machine. So really for the first time ever, I can actually see my profile on darker job sites where the light's not as good as in here. I can see what I'm doing so I can make my adjustments. Any questions so far? No questions. I know there's a little bit of lag, so I hope you guys can see some of my excitement for some of the new features on these machines. I hope you guys are excited as I am, because change is good sometimes. It just makes operation easier, so that's a huge bonus for me. I think we are going to transition. Are we going to a commercial, or are we just going right into it? Tom Dunn, I'd like to introduce Tom Dunn, my colleague and my friend. This is the funniest guy I know. Like jazz hands funny, I'm telling you, this guy. Come on, Tom.
All right, I'm mic'd up. Check, check. Super. I'm live. Dave, thank you very
Yes, sir.
much. Hey, welcome, Australia. We're awfully glad to have you along with us. I'm excited to show off Viking. Viking's our newest member to our Ride On, Ride In fleet of scrapers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through dimensions, weight, fuel capacity, safety features on this. Boy, there's a ton of them, both outside the machine and inside the machine. I'll tell you what, this cab, just the cab alone, has more safety features than just about any vehicle or any machine I've ever operated. You will be very impressed with it. So without further ado, I'm going to go into some dimensions. The Viking weighs in at 2,586 kilograms. The height on the Viking is 237 centimeters. The length is 311 centimeters. And the width is 147 centimeters. It is powered by a 49.5 horsepower turbo diesel motor by Kubota. Keep going on with it. There's the size, there's the weight. That's it in a nutshell. Let's talk about safety features on the exterior. I'm probably going to pop open the cabin. Hopefully you can see what I'm looking at, but if not, we'll certainly talk about them. Safety features on the outside. There's halogen lights facing forward in the rear to light up your work area both at nighttime or in low light conditions, rainstorms. I don't think snow's a problem. It is here. So you got lights forward and aft, and they're bright. They light it up. Other additional safety features with regards to lights on the front, left, right side as you're sitting in the cab. You'll see it when I'm doing a demonstration. There's a red light curtain. That signifies a certain work zone for the Viking to be in, and that tells every employee around working on that job site, do not enter. This is a big machine. It moves pretty quick. It's a danger to be in that. In the rear, there's a blue work zone too. It's in the shape of an arrow. That tells people to stay away, and it also notifies people if that's backing up or maybe around a semi or something. They see that blue light, they know Viking's coming through. So that's fantastic. 2 additional light features that are on the exterior of the cab. Don't know if the camera will show it to you, no big deal. One is green, one is orange or yellow, depending what your eyes see. The yellow light simply means the key is in the ignition and the power going into the cab is on. Doesn't mean the motor's running. The second light is the green light. That light starts flashing when the motor's running and all the safety features have been engaged, which I'll go over the mechanical side of that. But that green light means it's about to be in the work, if not already. That's great for a job site supervisor to look on a bridge. Bridges can be long, or big work sites. I know that I see a green blinking light, the machine is working. I'm aware of that. That's good for me to know as a supervisor. Let's talk about engaging the machine and allowing the hydraulics to work, allowing you to be in the work. I'm going to step back over here. Let me just talk about the outside real quick. If the door's open, I can't go forward, reverse. I can't take the blade up and down. It's dead. That's just step one to engage the hydraulics. When I'm in the work here in a little bit, coming down, taking up the membrane, you're going to see in the front of the machine down by the cutting head, there's 2 yellow, I'm going to call them boxes with red kill switches in. So when Dave Bigham, who you just met, Dave and I did a bridge in St. Paul, Minnesota. Took about 40,000 feet. You go through blades, and it's nice to stay in the machine and have your coworker pop out a cutting head, put a new one in, keep it rolling. Every time Dave and I did that, and we probably did it 60 times, I'm able to pull up to Dave or Dave to me. I hit that switch. I can't run over Dave, and he can't run over me. Sorry. So that's critical. We all know safety is number one. It's critical. As soon as the blade has been changed out, you twist that emergency switch, and now I can get back into the work. A couple other things. When I'm inside the cab, I can shut the door. I can have those switches to active, but if my seatbelt's not on, not going to operate. Got to have the seatbelt on. Secondly, up on the control panel, it's going to be pretty difficult to see, but I know that we have videos out there that show it crystal clear. There's a hydraulic engagement switch. Light's really bright green. I must engage that. Then I know I'm ready. So, Nick, do you want me to get in the cab and I can point out some other additional features? Okay. Again, safety. We always want people to get in a machine and out of a machine without getting hurt, jumping off a step. There's 2 handles. There's one right on the inside to the right as I'm facing it. There's one up to the left. Very easy for me to get in. When I entered the machine, I sat down. I'm on a seat with springs. That allows, we know these things go through. Overhead light, can't see me. Hi. The seat, it's not air ride, it's spring loaded. These machines go through a lot of rough material, keeps the operator comfortable. You can sit in this thing all day long. Dave and I did. So that's an additional safety feature. When entering and exiting, you'll see the control handle folds up. You fold it down. I'm in. Seatbelt. Can't drive it without it. Another kill switch. Much like the ones up in front outside the cab, I got it here as well. I see anything that I don't like and I need to shut this down right away, hit that, machine's dead. Engine will still run, but nothing hydraulically can operate. That means I can't go forward, reverse, left, right, blades up, down. Nothing can happen. It's dead. Further safety features and really nice benefit. To the lower right-hand side, it's not lit yet. There's a 5 by 7 inch screen. It's for my reverse camera. It is on all the time. As soon as you turn on the key, it goes on. Again, safety. I got to see what's behind me when I'm backing up. I don't want to run over anyone. I don't want to hit a truck behind me. Saved me a couple times on that bridge. I almost hit a pickup. Furthermore, on the outside of the cab, rear view mirrors. Just gives me a better view of what's behind me. Safety. There's a fan in the cab. It's great. Blows cool air on me. There's also air conditioning. That's critical for you folks. There's heat. Pretty critical for me. I'm from Minnesota. It's cold. Of course, we've got a windshield wiper with windshield wiper fluid and a defrost. In certain climates, windows frost up. You get ice on them, or they just get foggy from weather conditions. All that's part and mounted up here on our control panel. Again, a video that we have, and you probably have seen it. If not, we'll get it to you. Shows it really, really clearly. One additional feature, off to my right, it's a cell phone holder. I can't really see it from here, and that was done by design. If it's out in front, hey, every one of us have been out. As soon as our phone lights up, we can be halfway through. So it's mounted back that way. We don't want that distracting us. But when this cab is shut and I'm operating this, I can have that on, if someone calls and I'm not operating, I can talk to that person perfectly clear, even at full RPMs. It's very, very difficult if I'm inside the cab and someone's standing out with this door shut. You're gonna really strain to hear them or be heard. So, and I bring that up. The seal on this door is magnificent, and that's another safety feature within our cab. It's got a positive pressure cab, HEPA filter bringing air in that's been purified to 99 point. Fill in the last number. Keeps the operator safe. These are going to be in dusty environments. There's other machines going around. Keeps the driver breathing clean air. Driver safety, employee safety is number one. Lastly, and I might have missed something, but I don't think so, this cab has 2 certification, ROPS and FOPS, rollover protection, falling object protection. That's not something that we did in our own house. We had the cab built, we sent it away, and they dropped it, they dropped things on it, they rolled it, it was ROPed and FOPed. So certification, these are all built to exacting specs, and we're proud of it. So enough yap, but I bet you want to see this get into work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut the cab. You'll still be able to hear me yapping at you, but I got to shut the door to operate it. Make sure you explain the tool. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to jump out. Should I do that? Okay, tooling and tooling holders. Right now I have the machine set up on the cutting head with 2 blade holders and 2 different self-dicing blades, if you will. They're like our carpet blades that you probably have used on our 7700. I've put 2 holders in. It can take up to 3. Situations may allow for 3 blades being used. Some may allow for 2. Some may allow for 1. My setup right now I have one on the far left because the demonstration and the removal, I'm going up against a concrete curb. So with this hanging out, I'll be able to get it tight, and I'm not losing out on all that. And I can make my long run all the way down the sidewalk on a bridge or what have you. So again, we have two self-scoring blades, 19 inches, 12 inches. I want to show something real quick. You have the 7700. You can see this one here is for Viking, and the other one would be the same diameter for the 7700 or any of our other ride-ons. You can see quite a bit different. This is much more robust. So I'm going to put this back in the cab. We're going to use that blade in a little bit, ripping up VCT or vinyl composite tile. We're going to be ripping up some timber, both natural oak and engineered. Other blades, you can go from 6-inch. A lot of different blades you can use on this. The setups can be limitless. So that's a bit about the blades. If you have questions, Mr. Kevin's on there, ready to take them. Nothing? Okay. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. All right, I'm going to jump back in. I'm going to shut the cab, and we're going to move a little bit of rubber bridge membrane. You can see our spot, kind of. We don't have a ton left, but you'll certainly get an idea. When we did this bridge membrane in our warehouse, we did grind the surface. We prepped it per specifications, and this would simulate a bridge deck here in the States, the United Kingdom, Australia. So we'll take up with that. We'll probably go for a commercial break after that so I can switch blades and we'll do some other removal. Stay with me. So the situation is I can't start the motor because we have one of the E-stops on the front of the machine killed, and actually Dave is doing it. I had my interior switch killed it. So safety, right? All right, well, panicked a little bit, not much though. So I'm saying, okay, I'm looking here on our control box. Yeah, I'm on camera. I've had 3 heart attacks in the last 3 minutes, and you should see all the employees behind you right now. They're going, oh my goodness. So I got my control box. This shows me my RPMs. It's my throttle control, all done by buttons. So I'm going to rev it up, get it going, and show this off a little. Check around, make sure we're good. That's a horn for also safety. I've got to engage my hydraulics up on the control panel. That's my final step to operating. Blade pitch up, down, slide plate, I'm active, here we go. So I've been asked to get a little closer to the camera, so I'll do so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start this right after this seam, and you'll get an idea. See, up, down. You got to have a little bit of a choice of an angle. I want to move it up. I'm able to go back. Always keeping in mind I'm looking in my camera back there. Shift it over. Inside the cab, as I'm operating it on my joysticks, I can choose speeds. The speed you just saw me, I'm in the highest speed, if you will. The other one, I can slow the speed down some. So keep swinging it out, a little bit more removal. There it is. There's the rubber membrane. What we're going to do is probably go to a commercial break. It's going to allow me to set up the other blade. So we'll be right back. Thank you. Hey, we're back. I appreciate your patience letting us switch over blades. Folks, the first product I'm going to remove is timber. We have managed expectations of whatever customers we're doing. We've pre-scored the floor. We'd always do that on timber. I'm going to do some natural wood timber, and then beyond that, we have a engineered flooring. I probably see a lot of that in supermarkets, both here in the States and down in Australia, of course. So I'm going to remove some wood. You've probably done this with our 7700, very effective machine, but let's see what Viking can do, right? I'm set at about 2,800 RPMs, and let's see what we got here. Want to make sure I got proper pitches, I got debris out of the way. Now I got to find my sweet spot, that's all. Still new to me a bit. So yeah, here's the timber, or what's a bit left of it. So I'm gonna slide down, I'm gonna move over to my right a little bit, and we're gonna take up some vinyl, or I'm sorry, not vinyl, we're gonna take up some engineered flooring. So there's your engineered flooring. So this is pretty nice. All right, that's engineered flooring. That's timber. I think what we'll do a little bit is some VCT now. This is going to be great for you on big jobs. Again, always looking behind me. Walk in the park. That's VCT. We'll do a little bit of ceramic. How's that? So I'm gonna head to the other end, spin it around, and I know that down in Australia you have quite a bit of ceramic. 7700 does a great job. Let's see how Viking can do. So I'm swinging into position. I got some people behind me. What I want to do is I'm going to hit this seam at an angle. If we hit it straight on, lift up the back side of the machine. All right, so here's some ceramic. I'm going to give a little bit more angle, help stay under the work. There's a seam down there I hit yesterday, and I think I lifted the back wheels off this thing, but want to be awfully careful of that. So and if I'm struggling at one way, I could always come in at another. You got blade pitch. Always keep pecking at it. I would come in from another way, but if I came at it from the other angle, my coworkers are all right here, and their safety is most important to me. So anyway, we're awfully proud of this. This is Viking doing rubber membrane wood VCT. I think we have some questions, so let's go from there.
As you can see here, we got a lot of fun toys here in the National Flooring Equipment product catalog. We're really excited about some of the new products we've been able to launch this year. We thank you for your partnership. The A95, the A96, you guys already have in country, and we just can't wait to ship our first Viking down under. So if you got any questions, please contact me at kevin.b@nationalequipment.com. Contact me on WhatsApp, call me. We'd love to support you guys and grow our business further. Thank you so much for the partnership. Have a great day.